Hey peeps, Ross England here with Clear Lake Guide Service with your fishing report for June 10th, 2021. Welcome back. Thanks. I appreciate all the comments and the fact that you guys and ladies are actually watching every once in a while and get something useful out of this. I appreciate it. I'm out with my buddy Jim today. It's a little bit late this morning on Thursday, but we're going to get this done and get it in so we're still on Thursday. Excuse the voice. So, conditions. Lake is dropping like a rock. It's at about 0.15 positive number, which means next week when we report, it'll probably be 0 or a little bit under. Those of you that haven't been paying attention, there's been a significant weather change over this past week, and we went from highs in the 90s to really low hundreds to a couple of days, including today, where it's supposed to only be about 70 degrees. It's fairly comfortable out here, but the wind has been blowing. It seems like you can get away with a little bit in the morning, and then after that it's kind of gets a little bit dicey. Because of that wind, the water clarity is really taking a beating, especially the upper end where we started out this morning. It just flat looks like, you know, it's been raining for 2 weeks with a ton of inflow coming in. Pretty stained up. A lot of the weed beds got torn up. So it's kind of changed a lot just over the last 3 or 4 days. Water clarity around the lake has taken a hit because of it. Clearest water that we've seen so far today is about 2.5, 3 feet. Thursday, Friday when I was out fishing, I still saw some places where I could see 5.5 and 6 feet. And there may still be places like that around the lake, but they'd have to be down on the extreme lower end. I haven't seen anything like that today. So water temperature, last week we were reporting 74, 75, 76. This morning it was 67. So, you know, any way you cut it, it's about a 6 to 7 degree minimum drop in water temperature, especially in the mornings. If you're in a nice calm area with the sun and the way the watercolor looks, it'll probably heat up pretty quick in the afternoon. So those are your conditions. Activities. Wednesday was day 1 of pre-fish, official pre-fish for Wild West Bass Pro-Am. So Wednesday was day 1, today is day 2, and then according to their permit, they've got a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament. It's going out of Lakeport. I don't know how many boats are in it. The running around that we've done today, really haven't seen that many boats, but I know the 5th Street parking lot was pretty full, and we launched at County Park this morning, and it was every other launch ramp, every other parking space was full. So that's what you got going on for this weekend. Expect it to be busy. I think the lake conditions are going to improve a little bit, as it seems like the water temperature is forecast, or the air temperature is forecast to continue to improve all the way through next week, where we're going to be back up to 100 plus for a couple of days. So the fishing report aspect of this, Thursday and Friday were like 20 fish days. It was a mix of topwater. Let me think back. It was a mix of topwater, drop shot, Cincos. I'm sure I forgot something because it seemed like we were throwing the kitchen sink at them. They were all pretty shallow, 3 to 5 feet of water. Some of them were bed fish. Some of them were just fish swimming around out in the weeds, and some of them were just on docks. So a little bit of everything. We did lose 2 decent fish last week on Friday, which those are the first 2 better fish that we've actually hooked in a while. They were probably, what's your front end there, Jim? They were between 5 and 6, which it's been a while since I've seen a fish that size. today, Jim lost a couple that were 5-pounders, plus or minus. We'll call them 4.5 to 5.5 pound fish. With the decreasing air temperatures and water temperatures, I really kind of thought the topwater bite was going to be dead, but we actually did catch some topwater fish today. There's still, if you can find weed beds that haven't been totally destroyed, you know, there's still a bite in the weed beds. Just today, it's been kind of a slow morning compared to what we've been doing, but we're sitting at about 10 fish. Right now we've been out for about 3.5 hours, and it's been a mix of topwater, shaky head, Senko, swim jig, frog. It's been a little bit of everything. So on the topwater, we definitely have more blow-ups and bites than we've actually landed. So I think, you know, my advice for what it's worth, I'd probably blow off this week and then start thinking about coming back up next week if you can. That's kind of about it for the fishing. We're seeing less, for those of you interested in crappie, we're seeing less and less of them. Doesn't mean that they're out there, they're not being caught, but we're not catching them by accident anymore, which tells me that they probably moved off onto deeper docks or out into grass beds. We were seeing a lot of carp swimming around, and buffalo carp, which are like a little short carp. It's about, that long, a real humpback. So we've been seeing a lot of those swimming around too, for any of you folks that are up here trying to shoot one with a bow and arrow. So we've kind of been bouncing around this morning, and it's been a combination of docks, grass, rocks, pretty much everywhere we've stopped except for this spot right here. We've caught a fish, at least one, so we're not working too hard at it, but, well, Jim is, I'm not. I'm just kind of watching. So it's going to be your report for today and this week. Hope everything is going well for y'all. You know, if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.